What's up, guys, and welcome back to Eventual Acres. So this week we're going to be talking about whether or not you can taste the difference between store-bought and farm-fresh eggs. Now, prior to last week, it had been about 8 years or so since I had a farm-fresh egg. I went by my buddy's house, he gave me some straw, gave me some compost, gave me some strawberries and potatoes. If you've seen last week's video, you know this already. But what you don't know is that he also gave me half a dozen of his chicken's eggs. Now, because it's been 8 years since I had any farm fresh eggs, I immediately went home and cooked up 2 of the eggs on my cast iron. I took a bite and my mind was blown. I couldn't believe how good they were. I don't know if I just thought they were that good because I just haven't had farm fresh eggs in a while, or because I went in with the preconceived notion that they're going to taste better because they're more natural. So I've been wanting to buy farm fresh eggs for a while, and having just had his eggs, it kind of kicked me in the butt to go get some of my own. So I've kind of been thinking, are they really better than store-bought commercial eggs? Can you really taste the difference? So this week, we're going to put it to the test. I'm going to try some of my buddy's eggs. I'm going to try a farm fresh egg that I bought from a farm stand, and I'm going to try a commercial egg. Now, the reason I want to try the difference between all three is because A, I know how my buddies' chickens are fed. I know that they're, out on pasture, that they eat, bugs and healthy, fresh food. I know that they're being taken care of well. I know that the eggs taste good because I've already had them. I want to try a farm stand egg because when I went to go buy it, I opened up the cooler and it was on ice packs and the eggs had already been washed off. So truthfully, I don't really know what kind of diet their chickens are on. I don't know how fresh the eggs are since they're on ice packs. And since the eggs were cleaned off, leads me to feel I can't leave them on my island because I know that once you clean off an egg with water, you have to refrigerate it. So I want to see if I can taste the difference between a farm fresh egg that I know how fresh it is and a farm fresh egg that you get on the side of the road at a farm stand. And then lastly, I want to try a commercial store-bought egg because A, that's what's accessible to most of us. B, it's what I'm most familiar with because I eat those regularly. And C, I just want to know whether or not you can really taste the difference between a farm fresh egg and a store-bought egg. So before we get into cooking, I'm going to crack open these eggs and I want to see if we can even tell the difference visually between the 3 types of eggs. Okay, so I've got it set up so we can easily tell the difference between each egg. So I've got my friend's egg labeled here, farm stand, and then store-bought. So first, let's visually inspect the egg. Now, this egg is obviously dirty. It's fresh from the coop. It's got like a nice palish complexion to it. Next is the farm fresh egg. Again, it looks very cleaned off. There's a little bit of condensation on it because, as I mentioned, they had it on ice packs when I bought it, so I put it in the fridge. So it makes sense that there's condensation on it. There is a nice little spot on it, which is a sign that it obviously came from the chicken coop. They must have not scrubbed it too much, which I do kind of like because I know that the outer protective coating is on it, but because they washed it, I still don't feel comfortable leaving it on my island. It's going to stay in the refrigerator. Lastly is the commercial egg. Completely clean. It's a little bit fatter. It's not as skinny as this one. I know that when it comes to eggs and their sizes, it depends on the breed of the chicken. I don't know what breed this farm stand has, and I don't know what breed the commercial eggs come from. So I can't really judge and make comments too much about the shape and the size because it could be completely different breeds of chickens. So the first one I want to crack open is my buddy's farm fresh egg. So let's crack that open right into the bowl. Next, we'll crack open the farm. And then lastly, the store-bought. So one thing I did notice that stood out to me is how hard each shell was when I cracked it. So I feel like this egg actually had a slightly harder or stronger shell. This one broke very delicately. As you can see, I dropped one into the bowl when I was cracking it, and then this one also cracked fairly easily. I'm noticing that there's a lot of similarities between these two eggs, and this egg is standing out a little bit more. So visually, I see a little bit of a difference between my buddy's eggs and these two. The yolk on this looks smaller, but I think it's just because it was a smaller egg. But this yolk, if you can really see, the one on the left, which is my friend's egg, is a little more orange than this one. The shape is about the same. The yolk isn't really different, but the color, I immediately noticed that this was darker. Now, this egg is a little bit smaller. The yolk honestly looks a little more solid in color than the commercial egg, but they are both a light orange. So, again, I don't really know what else to say about that. I am really curious to see if you can really taste a difference or not. First things first, don't judge my cooking. I'm not Gordon Ramsay. I'm just going to cook the eggs the same way I always cook them. So, what I do is I take a little bit of butter, slap it on, and I lather up my cast iron. First egg we're going to throw on is going to be my friend's egg. We're going to drop it right here. Next egg is going to be the farm fresh egg. Drop that right here. And lastly is going to be the store egg. We'll drop that right here. So again, looking at it visually, the yolk on my friend's egg definitely looks to be a darker orange than these two eggs. The yolk on the commercial egg is actually slightly bigger than both of these. The amount of the whites of the egg, honestly, I don't know if it's just because of the way that it poured in, but this egg from the farm stand appears to have a little bit more. I don't really think that matters all too much. But visually, they all look relatively the same. So I'm going to put them on their own separate plates because, truthfully, I don't want the yolk from one egg running into the other and giving me a different opinion on the flavor of the egg. I want each egg to be individual so I can actually have a true taste testing. Okay, so again, I've got them labeled. This is my friend's egg from his farm. This is from the farm stand, and this is from the store. Visually looking at them, they're all sunny side up. They cooked about the same. This one actually, I noticed, has a lot more bubbles in it, which I don't know. I just don't think I've ever noticed before. This one kind of exploded a little bit in the yolk, and then this is just perfectly intact. So I cooked them all the same. I cooked them all at the same time. I took them off in order of when I put them on. So there really shouldn't be too much of a difference in how much they cooked. So let's get into it. Let's eat. Okay, again, as I mentioned, I'm trying to keep each egg separate. So I've got 3 forks, 3 plates, 3 eggs. Easy enough. So each fork will get dirty with only that egg. Again, I don't want the yolk from one egg going to another because we've already seen that the yolk looks different. I don't know if it tastes different or not. So I'm trying to prevent any cross contamination, so to say, between the eggs. So let's start with my friend's egg. I've already had this one before. I already kind of know how it tastes. So let's give it a shot. All right. Perfect. So I've got a perfect amount of white and a perfect amount of yolk. So let's see how it tastes. Pretty good, pretty good. Gonna go in for a second bite. I mean, ultimately gonna end up finishing these anyways. So what difference does it make if I eat it all now? But I kind of want to get a second tasting in so I can really kind of get a feel of what it tastes like. So I'm not a food critic, so I don't really know how to explain the flavor profile, but it is a nice, rich yolk. It is pretty good. To be truthfully honest, I'm not super big on sunny side up. Normally, I do it over medium or scrambled, but lately I've been trying to expand my horizons. I had these farm fresh eggs from my friend sunny side up last week when I had them, so just for this test, doing it sunny side up. So I really do enjoy this egg. Just going off of memory right now, I don't really taste a whole lot of a difference. Maybe I'm just getting used to the egg because I've had it. This is kind of my third tasting now. So let's try the egg from the farm stand. All right. Also, I don't know if I'm going crazy or not, but I'm kind of getting like a good aftertaste on the first egg that I really enjoy. All right. Let's try the farm stand egg. So one thing I do notice about the farm stand egg is that the yolk didn't really break as much like the first egg did. It looks like this one cooked a little bit more. I don't know if just the spot on my grill um, cooked it a little bit more, or if it's just the yolk was just easier to cook. I don't know, but it didn't really ooze out like the first one. So let's see what the taste is like. Is it weird to say that I can taste the difference? Like, I don't know how to explain the difference, honestly. But I actually really enjoy this egg. I don't know if I enjoy it more or if I enjoy it equally, but I can actually taste a difference, which is kind of weird. So I'm going to take another bite of this real quick. Yeah, that's actually a really good egg. I like that one a lot. All right. Now it's time for the big reveal. Let's try the store bought. Let's see if I can taste the difference between the farm and the store bought. I can already taste a slight difference between the two from the farms. And again, it all goes to how you feed your chickens, what kind of diet they're on. Are they on pasture? Are you feeding them grain? Are they eating, natural leftover food, or even maybe you're just tossing them food from the farm? Who knows? But even stuff like that, I feel like can probably be the reason that the two tastes taste different. My friend might be feeding his chickens, one type of grain, and they might be foraging differently, and chickens from the farm stand might be eating a whole bunch of different type of leftovers or whatever it is that they feed them. You just don't know. Store bought, usually we see the commercials or we hear the documentaries that they're in crowded, unhealthy, unsafe conditions for the chickens, that they're not actually on pasture, that they're only eating like grains, they're not actually out in the elements foraging. So I'm kind of expecting it to taste worse than these two. But again, I want to go in unbiased. I don't want to have any preconceived notions that it's going to be worse. So I'm going to taste this for how it is, and I'm going to try and get the other two flavors out of my mind. So let's try the commercial. So just like the farm stand egg, the yolk didn't really run as much as the first egg did. Again, it could just be the placement of how they were on the grill. But the yolk didn't really run. The yolk did run a lot on my friend's egg. So let's try this one. Oh yeah, there's a huge difference, honestly. I'm not staging this. I didn't come into this video being like, oh, I'm going to trash commercial eggs. I'm going to obviously say the farm eggs are better. That was not my intention with this video. I really wanted to be authentic with this. And if the commercial eggs tasted better, I wanted to be fully prepared to tell you. I really like the farm ones a whole lot better than this egg. It doesn't really have like a whole bunch of like. Again, I'm not a food critic. To rate this egg, I don't really have the words, but it's not really as creamy. I don't really get as much of a rich flavor as I got with the other two eggs. But I did 2 bites with the other two, so let's be fair. Let's have 2 with this. Yeah, I mean, it tastes like the type of egg that I'm used to, the type of egg that I've always eaten. Because again, I don't have chickens or anything like that, but it's definitely not as rich as the other 2 are. So let me try the farm stand egg again, because I really liked that one. So I've got a good amount of the yolk. I'm trying to get as much as I can off the plate. It's weird. Like, it almost has like a smokiness flavor to it, but it has a strong flavor profile. The store-bought egg, let's give that a try again. So I'm going to do the same thing, try and get as much yolk as I can. Nothing. Just tastes like a regular old plain egg. And then let's try my friend's egg one last time. All right, got a good amount of the yolk. Try and get a little bit more if I can. Again, I like this one better than the commercial. But if I had to be honest, out of the 3 of these, I think I like the farm stand one a little bit more. And I feel bad saying that because my friend might see this video because he does follow me. But I really do like his egg. I really like the farm stand egg. The commercial one, I've still got maybe a dozen and a half eggs in my fridge from the store. I got to finish them. I'm not going to waste them or anything like that. But it does make me want to start going and buying farm fresh eggs more often now, for sure. So out of the 3 of these, if I had to rate them, I think I like the farm stand the most. It's rich, it's creamy. I really liked my friend's egg. So again, if you're seeing this, I'm so grateful and thankful that you gave me it. Again, you're changing my whole world, getting me to start going and getting farm eggs again. I've been wanting to for a while, and now this is really, really the kick in the butt to go do so. But I'm going to finish these 3 eggs. I'm not going to devour them all on camera in front of you. But I'm actually really surprised with this taste testing. I wasn't really sure going into this if you were going to be able to even taste the difference, but you can. It's clear, and it kind of makes me wonder, like, can you taste the difference between everybody's farm fresh eggs, or is it just, I don't know, maybe I got lucky and these 2 are different. So I don't know, but that's all I have for you guys today. Again, thank you for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe, leave any comments. Again, I appreciate you guys taking your time to watch this video. So I'll see you guys in the next one.